In this exercise, you're going to learn one of the most fundamental aspects of programming, creating and reading variables. What's a variable? It's a value that's associated with a name. So here's a value, 5,280. Now, will you remember that in 5 minutes? How about in 5 months? But if I associate that value with a name, in this case, number of feet in a mile, I can use that name and the program will know that I really mean 5,280. And in 5 months when you come back, you'll know exactly what you mean by number of feet in a mile. So when my son was in school, he did a school project, and because he was learning to program, he chose to explain the concept of variables. And I heard him one day explaining this to his mom. He told her, you always have an address. That's the name of the variable. But the address itself varies. That's the value. You have one address, but if you moved, then you have another one. Different values, but always the same address. I thought that was a pretty good way to explain what a variable is. So here are some other common variable names you'll see in lots of programs. Username, password, expiration date, city, state, zip. You get to decide both the name and the value of the variable. Now, there are a few names called reserved words that already mean something to the computer, so you can't use those, but there aren't a lot of them. So where do values come from? Well, sometimes, like the number of feet in a mile, they're static. We know them at the time we're writing the code. At other times, we don't know them until the user does something. Maybe we have a form and need to ask the user for the city they live in. We know the name of the variable, we'll probably call it city, but what's the value for that variable? We don't know until the user gives us that information. So in this exercise, I'm going to use a very simple built-in function called prompt. It's a way of getting information from the user. It's a sibling to the alert function that you used in the last exercise. And then as we progress, we'll use better ways to capture user input. I think that's all you need to know for now about variables in order to complete exercise 1. As always, the help files are there if you really need them. When you're all done, meet me in exercise 2.